Assalamualaikum to respecting panels, Prof. Dr. Muhammad HAFIZ Muhammad HANAFIAH and Dr. KHAIRUN NAJIAH AHMAD. My name is Syahira NAZATUL BINTI Yazid and my research partner.
My name is NURUL NATASHA binti DINO ISWANDY and we are supervised by Dr. ASMALINA ANUAR. Today we will present our final project which is titled The Impact of Social Media Content on Park, Attributes and Tourist Revisit Behavior to Bako National Park. So moving on to the first slide, which is background of the study. Social media has transformed how individuals engage with tourism destinations, especially through platforms like Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. These platforms serve as a source of travel inspirations where use generated content such as review, image, and video. In this case, Bako National Park, Malaysia, social media play a crucial role in promoting its biodiversity, geographical features, and cultural significance. Engaging visual contents help boost the park visibility and attract both first-time and returning visitors. Tourists rely heavily on social media when choosing travel destination. Research shows the digital content influences travel decisions and shapes visitor perceptions. As social media replaces traditional marketing, it has become an essential tool for tourism promotion. Additionally, social media can promote sustainable tourism by engaging environmental conscious travelers and showcase the park's nature beauty, accessibility, and eco-tourism opportunity. Now moving on to the problem statement. Social media has changed how tourism is promoted, showcasing destinations, wildlife, landscapes, facilities, and activities. However, little research exists on how different types of content influence tourists to revisit. While past study focused on social media's role in the travel planning, we don't fully understand how posts about wildlife, scenery, and activity after repeat visit. This study explores how social media impact tourists returning to Bako National Park. The finding will help to improve marketing and support sustainable tourism. So this is the main objective of our study along with our specific research objective and questions related to Bako National Parks. The main objective is to explore how natural resources, infrastructure, and various activities in Bako National Park contribute to tourist revisitations behavior. To achieve this, we have outlined 3 key research objectives. So firstly, to examine how social media content about park attributes such as natural resources, infrastructure, and activity affects tourist decision to revisit Bako National Park. Secondly, to identify which specific aspect of social media content has the most significant impact on tourist revisitations behavior. And lastly, to investigate the relationship between social media contents and tourist revisitations behavior based on different park attributes. So from this objective, we have formulated 3 main research questions. So the first question is, how do social media posts about Bako National Park's natural resources influence tourist decision to revisit? Second question, in what way does social media content about the park's infrastructure affect tourist revisitations decisions? And lastly, how do social media posts about the various activities available in Bako National Parks influence tourist interest and willingness to return? From the study framework showing how social media content about Bako National Park focusing on natural resources, infrastructures, and activity affects tourist revisit behavior. This highlights the connections between these factors. So, in this slide is our study framework for our research, which we have social media contents of Bako National Park consists of natural resources, infrastructure, and activities is the independence variables, and the tourist revisitations behavior is the dependence variable. From the conceptual studies frameworks model, there are 3 main hypotheses could be formulated. So for the first hypothesis is there is a significant impact of social media contents on natural resources of Bako National Parks and tourist revisit behavior. Second hypothesis, there is a significant impact of social media content on infrastructures of Bako National Parks and tourist revisit behavior. And lastly, there is a significant impact of social media contents on activity of Bako National Parks and tourist revisit behavior. In this slide, I will explain the significance of our study on Bako National Park. From an academic standpoint, this study helps us to understand how social media influence tourist decisions to revisit Bako National Parks. Research by Leung in 2013 shows that online content play a key role in shaping travel choices. Additionally, we explore how digital engagement such as sharing photos and reviews translate into real-world visits. After that, from the practical perspective, the study provides valuable insight for tourist authorities. Understanding social media trends help refine marketing strategies to attract more visitors, suggested by Kaplan and Heinlein in 2010. Moreover, our findings supports in sustainable tourism by helping Bako National Parks and Sarawak Forensic Corporations make informed decisions to balance visitor growth with conservation efforts. For the literature review, Bako National Park, home to diverse wildlife, is the top ecotourism spot. Social media like Instagrams and Facebook attract visitors with photo and reviews, with helpful for trips, plannings, and it can also cause overcrowding and environmental issues. Moving on, social media boosts Bako appeals and supports conservation, but tourism must be managed. Online content improve facilities and attract various visitors. It also influences repeat visits through a long-term effects and more. So here is our research methodology. So I will begin with the research approach. This study adopts a quantitative research design to systematically analyze how social media influence tourist revisit behavior. We use a self-administered questionnaire survey to collect data, ensuring structured and reliable responses. After that, sample and populations. The target population consists of tourists who have visited Bako National Park. We use non-probability sampling, specifically convenient sampling, due to accessibility and participant willingness. A total of 100 respondents were selected based on Kechi and Morgan sampling size determinations method to ensure the statistical significance while keeping data collection feasible. Moving on to the instrument, the questionnaire is divided into 3 main sections. We use 5 points, Likert scales, and nominal scales for responses. The questionnaire is available in both English and Malay. Rather than that plan for data collection, the data collection was conducted at Bako National Park over a period of 4 weeks during weekend. Tourists accesses the survey by scanning the QR code which was placed at the car parks and boat jetty. Lastly, for the planned data analysis, the collected data was analyzed by SPSS. The following analyses were conducted by reliable analysis, which is Combran Alpha test was used to ensure external consistency with a pilot study conducted among 30 respondents. We also use descriptive analysis. And lastly, regressions analysis. This helped to determine the relationships between social media contents and tourist revisit behavior. So that's all for me. I will pass to my partner, Syahira.
Thank you, Natasha. Next, I will present the key findings from our study on how social media content influences tourist perception and visit behavior at Bako National Park. Over 2 months, from November to December 2024, we distributed 100 questions to tourists who had visited the park at least once. Our goal was to understand how social media content shapes their perceptions of Bako National Park and their likelihood to returning. Our results showed that 35% of respondents were first-time visitors, while 24% visited once a year. The remaining 41% consists of more frequent visitors, with 17% visiting 2 to 3 times per year, 13% visiting 2 to 3 times per month, and 11% visiting monthly. In terms of demographic, the majority of respondents, 65%, were between the age of 18 to 25, followed by 19% who were aged 36 to 45 years old. The remaining respondents fell into 26 to 35 years old, 46 to 55 years old, and 55 years old and above. While for gender distribution was nearly equal, with 51% female and 49% male respondents. Regarding professional background, the largest category at 39% was labeled as others, followed by 29% who were unemployed. The remaining respondents work in the private sector, were self-employed, or work in government position. To ensure the reliability of our survey, we conducted a Cronbach Alpha test, which measures the internal consistency of our questionnaire. A value above 0.7 indicates good reliability. Our findings showed that social media content related to infrastructure had the highest reliability score at 0.804, followed by tourist revisit behavior at 0.783. Social media content related to natural resources and activities scored 0.731 and 0.733 respectively, which are still within the acceptable range. Since all values were above 0.7, we confirmed that our survey instrument was reliable for further analysis. Our survey also analyzed respondents' perception using mean and standard deviation values. First, in terms of social media content on natural resources, respondent agrees that social media helps raise awareness about conservation with a mean score of 4.4. However, fewer respondents actively shared biodiversity-related content with a mean score of 3.94. Next, regarding perception of social media content on infrastructure, fewer respondents think that social media makes them want to learn more about infrastructure with a mean score of 4.0. Meanwhile, tourists agreed that park infrastructure is well maintained, was well portrayed on social media, scoring 4.31. For social media content on activities, information about nature hikes had the lowest influence with the mean score of 4.33. On the other hand, review on outdoor activities significantly influenced tourists' willingness to visit, scoring the highest at 4.51. Finally, in terms of revisitation behavior, respondents strongly agreed that they would recommend Bako National Park to others with a mean score of 4.49. Many tourists also expressed a desire to return more than once a year, scoring 4.3, and noted that their experience at the park would encourage them to revisit, with also a score of 4.3. To determine which aspect of social media content influenced tourists' revisit behavior, we conducted a regression analysis. This allowed us to measure the strength and the significance of each factor's impact. Our findings shows that social media content on natural resources had some influence with a beta value of 0.219. However, the p-value of 0.070 indicates that this relationship is not statistically significant. Similarly, social media content on infrastructure had a beta value of 0.163 with a p-value of 0.146, meaning its influence on revisit behavior was weak and not significant. In contrast, social media content on activities was found to have a strong and statistically significant impact with a beta value of 0.262 and a p-value of 0.010. This confirms that engaging social media posts showcasing activities such as jungle trekking and wildlife encounters play a crucial role in encouraging tourists to return to Bako National Park. Our hypotheses on social media content related to natural resources and infrastructure were not supported by the data. For Hypothesis 1, natural resources, we found that while social media effectively showcases the park's scenic views, it does not strongly influence tourists' revisit decision. This is likely because visitors already expect Bako's natural beauty, and other factors such as personal interest or environmental awareness play a bigger role in their decision making. For Hypothesis 2, infrastructure, our findings suggest that tourists rely more on official sources or word of mouth for information about accommodation and transport rather than social media. Infrastructure changes tend to be long-term, whereas social media content is more focused on short-term aspect. However, Hypothesis 3, activities were supported. Our studies confirmed that social media posts about activities significantly influence revisit behavior. Platforms like Instagram and TikTok highlight exciting experience, creating anticipation and encouraging tourists to return for adventure-filled activities. So next we move on to discussion. Social media plays a major role in influencing tourists' decision to revisit Bako National Park. User-generated content like photos, reviews, and videos helps build the park's reputation, making visitors more likely to return. Engaging posts showcasing the park's natural beauty, wildlife, and facilities attract different types of tourists. Adventurers are drawn to hiking and wildlife content, while families look for safety and infrastructure information. Positive reviews on platforms like Instagram and YouTube boost strong credibility in reinforcing Bako's appeal. To maximize this impact, targeted marketing strategies should focus on content that resonates with these key tourist groups. Our study has some limitation. Response bias may affect survey accuracy, as respondents might provide answers they think are expected. Convenience sampling also limits the generalizability of our findings. Additionally, we did not deeply analyze external factors like weather, seasonality, and global travel trends, which can also influence tourist decisions. Future studies should address these gaps for a more comprehensive understanding. In conclusion, social media plays a critical role in shaping revisit intention for Bako National Park. Stunning landscapes, diverse wildlife, and well-maintained infrastructure positively influence visitor perceptions. To strengthen its ecotourism appeal, the park should enhance its social media presence, engage with visitors' feedback, and continuously improve facilities. Future research should explore emerging digital trends to keep Bako competitive in the tourism market. By adapting these trends, Bako National Park can attract more visitors and maintain its reputation as a top ecotourism destination. And that is all from us. Thank you.